Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of physical education. This week, we're going to be working on throwing and catching fundamentals. First off, we're going to start with a warm up, and then we'll move into throwing techniques and release point, and then we'll work on catching. And then after that, we will have a fun game to play. So, first off, we'll start with the warm up. So, now we're going to start our warm up, and we're going to start by running in place. Remember to keep your arms pumping. Next, we're going to do 20 jumping jacks. After that, we're going to reach our right arm across our body. Now our left arm across our body. Now we're going to have our right arm reaching towards our back as I turn around so you can see a little better. And now our left arm, reach as far as you can go. All right, now we're going to pull our fingers back because we're going to be throwing. I moved closer so you can see. Now we're going to push our fingers down. Since we're going to be throwing, we need to work out our wrists and stretch that as well. Now we're going to do that on our left hand. And push down on your left hand. All right, now we're going to do big arm circles. Now do them backwards. Now kind of flip flop, crossing your arms over your body. And do little arm circles. And backwards. And that will complete your warm up. So now we're going to start working on throwing. And before we get into it, we're going to talk about different forms for throwing. Before I get up and actually show you. So for different sports, there's different types of throwing. Obviously, baseball pitching and softball pitching are going to be different. Throwing a football and throwing a tennis ball is going to be different. There's different motions. There's different ways to throw it. So we're just going to be doing the basic form, getting you guys into the fundamentals of throwing, and then we can go from there and be sport specific later on in the year when we're working on different sports. So one important thing to remember is you need to point to where you're throwing. So when you're ready to throw, you need to point. Another one is bringing the ball all the way back to reach forward and throw. So those are some big pointers. You need to be looking at your target, and now we can get into our little throwing lesson. So first we're going to be throwing without a ball. We're just going to be working on the form and working on different ways to kind of follow through all the way through, and different ways of when to release and just the starting form. So first off, you want to be able to point at your target with your non-throwing hand. So if I got a ball in this hand, I'll bring it back and point. See the shape? It kind of looks like an L. We're making an L shape right now to throw. So when we throw, we want to take a step, point, make the L shape, lean. You want to turn your hips like this, and right here, release about right there. Because right there is when we will be able to get it to our target. So let's do that a few times. Ready? Step, L, and release. So now that we got the release point down, we're going to do the follow through before we continue. So now you want to step, L, release, and you want your arm coming all the way through. And your base leg is going to have to step through and finish. So let's do that a few times. Ready? Step, L, release, and follow through. So now let's kind of speed it up and try. Ready? All right. So now that we got that, I want you guys to kind of find something that you're able to throw. All right? So go do that right now. All right. So I just have this rolled up pair of socks. It's not a hard ball, and I don't want to be breaking anything in my house. So that's why I have this. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a bad release because we're just going to throw it straight down, but it's kind of just working on our form and follow through. All right? So now just go and throw it at the ground and then pick it up, and we'll do that a few more times. All right, so now that we have that, we're going to be throwing at a wall, okay? So what you got to do is step, point, follow through, and throw, okay? So do that 3 different times. All right, there you go. Good throw. All right, once you completed that, we are going to work on basically the release point of when to let go. So I'm going to throw at this wall so you can kind of see my throw and release point. And then I'll still walk you through it. So you want to point at your target, which is that wall. So you want to point, go, release about right here, flick, and follow through. All right, so I'm going to speed it up and try and catch what I do. So I kind of step and go. All right, now that we have that, we're going to kind of work on a further throw. So when you throw further, you need to kind of hop. In baseball, outfielders call it a crow hop, where they get the ball and jump and kind of throw. So we're going to be working on, let's call it our crow hop. It's not going to be as complex. It's just going to be a little hop and go. So when you do that, you have the ball. We're going to step forward with your left leg. Or if you're left-handed, you'll step with your right leg, okay? I'm right-handed, so I'll step with my left. You step, kind of hop your legs together like this. So you step and go like that, okay? So you still do the throwing motion and you bring it together. So you go and throw. And remember, when I threw, I followed through. So I went all the way through, okay? So that will be the throwing portion of our class. All right, so that is our throwing part of our lesson. Now we're going to work on catching. A few things you need to know when you are catching. So if it's at your chest or above, you kind of want to make a diamond like this and kind of bring the ball in, or whatever else you are catching. So like the pair of socks, diamond, catch it, bring it in, okay? So one thing you want to remember is you want to use your fingertips and your hands. You do not want to use your body. When you're playing, let's say like football, basketball, if you try using your body, it could hit you and bounce out. So you want to really secure it with your hands and bring it in. So what we're going to work on is throwing something up in the air, using our catches higher up like this. And when it's low, you want to bring kind of your pinkies together and cradle it like this. So we're going to try this a couple different times, okay? All right, so first we're going to work on the higher up ones. So you're going to throw your sock. If you have a ball, like I've got a football here, or any type of ball, you can throw up in the air and catch it. So we're going to do that a couple times. We're going to work up on the higher up catches. So up, catch, up, catch, up, catch. So do that 5 more times for me, please. If it's nice outside, you can go outside, throw it. You don't want to hit any lights down. Your parents might be upset with you. All right, so now we're going to work on if they throw it low to you. So if they throw it low, remember, pinkies together and cradle. All right? Cradle and cradle. Now, if this is getting too easy for you, and let's say you're interested in football or something, one thing your coaches are going to want you to do is bring it in right away. So you can cradle and tuck it. Again, that's progression. If you are not comfortable with that yet, you want to keep catching, that's fine. You don't have to bring it in. But this is kind of the next step that we would do working on a sport. So just do, randomly toss it up and toss it low to yourself. Do it 10 times, switching it up, and then we will finish this lesson. All right, so now we're going to play a quick little game. So what we're going to do is throw the sock up or the soft ball. We're not going to use the hard ball this time. We're going to throw it up in the air, catch it. When you catch it, you got to do a little step and throw it to the target. I'm going to show you how to make the target. So you're going to need about 2 or 3 pieces of paper. So the first target is going to be the full sheet of paper. When you get that, grab a pencil or pen or marker. I'm using a marker. And 1 sheet of paper is going to be worth 1 point. So I put number 1 on this piece of paper because that is 1 point. Now, with your second one, what you're going to do with this, fold it in half. So there, it's folded in half. Then you can rip it following the half mark. If you have a scissors, you can use a scissors. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it to rip. So right there, that is going to be worth, that will be worth 2 points. So you can write a 2 on both of them. There, you have a 2 on both. Then, this is where it gets real tricky. You're going to fold this one into fourths. So first, fold it hamburger style. Then, fold it the opposite way to get it into fourths. Then you can rip that into the 4 little squares. So the easiest way to do this is rip it straight down and then rip that one in half, which will give you 4 squares. If I can get it. There we go. All right. Each one of those squares is going to be 5 points. So write a 5 on each one. And there you are. The next thing you're going to do is tape it on the wall. So I'm going to go tape mine on the wall, and then I will show you mine, and then I'll give you time to tape yours up quick. So as you can kind of see it, white on white doesn't really work, I guess. I taped it here. So I got the 1 pointer here, 2 pointers up here, and 5s right there. Again, I guess it's really hard to see. I'm sorry about that. You can kind of see it a little. But so now you can pause me and you can have some time to tape yours up on the wall quick. All right? All right, so now that you're back, I'm going to give you the simple rules quick and let you play. You guys are going to have 10 throws. You get 10 throws at the target. Whatever number you hit is how many points you get. If you miss and you just hit the wall, that's 0. So you get 10 throws, count up your points, and you have to tell me how many you get. So this is essentially what you got to do. You'll throw it up. This time I caught it up top. So up top, step, and throw. And I hit 1, so I get 1 point. So right now I got 1 point. This time I'll throw it low. And step, bring it up, point, make the L, throw. And that time I hit 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So it is a little bit of math, but I think you guys can handle it. So right now I'm at 6 points. I throw it up high again. Step, throw. I hit the 2. So 5 plus 1 plus 2. That is 6 plus 2, which is 8. So I have 8 points. So I only did 3 throws. You guys are going to do 10. However, you're going to have to fill out a Google form and let me know how many points you got. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick recap of what we learned. So we started with the throwing. So when we throw, remember, you got to make that L. Your release point is right around here and follow through all the way down. So you have to remember to do the follow through. Otherwise, a lot of times, you'll just be stuck. The ball will either fly way out or it won't hit your target or it'll go straight to the ground because you didn't get the follow through down. Catching, if it's up high, remember, make the diamond. Once you hit the diamond, the ball will come right in here and you catch it. If it's low, kind of cradle it like this and you'll bring it in. So those are the things you kind of have to remember when throwing and catching. For your assignment, I'm just going to have you fill out a Google form for me, please. It'll tell you, it'll ask you catching form, throwing form. And then at the end, you'll have to let me know how many points you got out of 10 throws. All right, you guys have a wonderful week, and thank you.